What's up guys, Delzinski here, and I just caught TNA Impact Wrestling from the 7th of November 2013, and after watching this episode of Impact, it got me thinking about a potential feud which I am desperate to see happen, and I feel the time is right for this feud to get started. It is the perfect time for this to happen. Now the reason why I'm saying this is because, as you can see by watching this week's Impact, the signs of transition, the signs of change are beginning to happen. And you can actually see that Eric Bischoff has now been sent home, and the writers are changing their direction with the company. Now, this is pretty fantastic news, I believe, because TNA does need a fresh look, a new style, a new image. I also believe as well that TNA most definitely needs to promote their best wrestlers and their best superstars. Now, we saw on this episode of Impact the kickstart of the new World Heavyweight Championship tournament, which got underway. This World Heavyweight title tournament, the way I believe it's going to play out is that whoever wins this tournament will eventually meet AJ Styles again, and the two belts will be unified, because at present AJ Styles is overseas defending the now defunct World Heavyweight Championship, and I've heard that he's going to be off telly for around about 7 months. So this gives time for a new champion to be crowned and build him up, and then a collision course will be made. Now, we did see the first match of the tournament, which was Full Metal Mayhem between Jeff Hardy and Chris Sabin. So, as I said, guys, I don't want to give any spoilers away of actually won or lost, but be sure to check that out on Impact if you haven't seen it already. But we did see the first match, and we also saw a feud being increased even more in potential and heat with Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle. Now, I'm all for this Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle feud. I think it's fantastic to have these two great wrestlers in the ring together. But, and this is the but, Mike Tenay, yes, we all know that I don't like Mike Tenay, but Mike Tenay, the way he was billing it was that with the brackets of the tournament and the way that Roode and Angle have been laid out, is that potentially it will be Angle and Roode in the final. So, for me, I don't want this to happen. I hope that TNA are going to throw us a curveball somewhere, because these two guys don't need to feud over a belt. They don't need to be in the tournament. I'm hoping that somehow one of them takes each other out and vice versa, and these two guys take their feud outside of the World Heavyweight Championship. Because the way that Mike Tenay built Angle and Roode completely brushed over the fact that next week Kurt Angle will be facing the greatest man that ever lived. And it completely devalued Austin Aries as a superstar, as a challenger. Because Mike Tenay was pretty much summing up that what will happen will these two will meet in the final. Who gives a monkeys about Aries? Who gives a monkeys about Roode's opponent? That's wrong. I believe what should happen is that Angle and Roode should both get eliminated by each other. So these two interfere in each other's matches, costing them both, taking them outside of the tournament. They can continue their feud. And then we get Austin Aries being crowned the new World Heavyweight Champion. And the reason why I want to do this, because I want to see over the next 6 months an AJ Styles and Austin Aries feud. Because these two are the best wrestlers that TNA have, in my personal opinion. I'm a huge Aries fan, and I'm also a huge Styles fan. And in ring, these two guys' chemistry just works. Just the same as Angle and Roode does. And I think it's the perfect two superstars to base the company around and go in the new direction. Now, I'll bring you back to something that CM Punk said, because if you cast your mind back 6 months ago, it must be around then, maybe a little longer, Austin Aries was World Heavyweight Champion. And when he was crowned World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk tweeted on his Twitter account, "Thank God, someone at TNA finally gets it." Now, since that day, and when Austin Aries did drop that belt, TNA have just gone in a downward spiral. They've gone backwards since Aries dropped the belt. Not only did we have WWE guys carrying the title, which I think is completely wrong, TNA need to focus on their own, but, you know, Austin Aries has gone backwards. He was a World Heavyweight Championship contender, and now he's in the mix, and he's sort of out of sorts. He was in the X Division, then he was in the World Title frame, then he's in the X Division. I don't know what their plans are for Austin Aries, but all I do know is that at last he's in the tournament, so now we have a route for him to go to get back that World Heavyweight Championship. So what I would like to see is Aries win the tournament, Aries potentially be the heel, and I don't know whether he would align himself with Dixie or in some sort of shape or form, but this would prompt the return of AJ Styles, and then the company would feud with these two guys at the top. Angle and Rude would continue their feud as a long-term period as well, and I think that's fantastic because then you have these four guys, all great wrestlers, good on the mic, all battling it out, and then you build the company around these guys and around these scenarios. I can really see this working, and if TNA want to go in a new direction, I think it's a perfect focus. So guys, let me know what you think with regards to the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. Who do you want to win it? Who you don't want to win it? What do you think will happen in this World Championship tournament? And do you agree with my idea that potentially the company should focus around a World Heavyweight Championship feud long term between Austin Aries and AJ Styles? Let me know via the comments box below, and until next time, please rate, comment and subscribe. This is Delzinski, signing out.